Should we be using this as motivation to scale up?
The problem is that the people that are going to govern us after that are stupid people. That's the problem. So granted, they go to the land and they take the land in next to 4 ways. They can't make that land functional. That's the problem. That land is just there for them to sleep in. But they can't make it functional. They're not making sure that they've got their own food on that land. They still go to ShopRite. That's across all the shacks.
Can black people govern themselves without rights?
No, black people can't govern themselves. No. And what we've proven throughout Africa is that black people cannot function without white people.
Do you think we should increase our level of looting? If Ungamla were looting land and those things, I think Trevor Noah cracked this joke about Ungamla trying to mug him, and he's like, you guys steal big things like land and countries. Should we be using this as motivation to scale up? There was things about stealing Mercedes-Benzes and stuff, and it's like, why don't we not burn the country down, but why don't we use this opportunity to actually squatter dwellers?
Yeah.
They steal land. They go and they occupy, and they get threatened. It's like, we can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Why are we not occupying buildings?
Yeah.
And occupying neighborhoods?
No, Pen, we can't. Because once we've looted, the problem is that the people that are going to govern us after that are stupid people. That's the problem. So granted, they go to the land and they take the land in next to 4 ways. They can't make that land functional. That's the problem. That land is just there for them to sleep in. But they can't make it functional. They're not making sure that they've got their own food on that land. They still go to ShopRite. That's across all the shacks.
Can black people govern themselves without rights?
No, black people can't govern themselves. No. We can't govern ourselves. It's been proven.
I was gonna agree and say that's the reason why so many black foreigners from Africa keep coming here, because we've got the most whites. When you look at white history, it's built largely on looting. White people have explored the world, going around looting countries, looting resources, whether it be commodities and mines or spices from India, or silks from China. They've looted labor, where they fetch Africans to build in America, or they fetch Indians and Malaysians to come and work sugarcane. At some point, I was looking at the IP of each race. Indians and the Chinese have historically been traders. That's what they do. They're the best at trading. Historically, they trade. They buy and sell. Black people, by and large, historically look like they've just majorly been labor, and then subsistence living. I don't remember white people being good traders. I don't remember white people being creative. If you look at even something like religion, Hinduism is the oldest religion, 4,000 years. Christianity and those things are like 2,000 years old. They're young, which means even religion, white people stole as a concept. A lot of architecture they stole. Some ideas they steal. They seem to be organized, but they're organized in stealing and looting. And I'm just trying to think, in the example that you were giving, that if black people had mastered looting the way white people could, that black farmer could have gotten the land, the farm, and then gone to steal, loot good white farmers somewhere to come work his land. Because almost all the things white people kind of have been built by darkies. It just means we struggle at an executive management level. But the stadiums were built by us. The schools, the mines were mined by us. We just weren't organized. So the reason the black farm is not working is not so much because blacks can't farm. It's clearly because black people can't manage themselves to farm. But white people can't farm. They need blacks to farm.
But
they can't build. They need blacks to build. And all of their creativity and ideas need to come from either blacks or Asians. And my question was, should we not be looking to begin the journey of looting like whites? Consider colonizing Stellenbosch. And if we can do that, yes, we're going to fuck it up. But let's start that culture, because I'm sure when white people started colonizing, they were also clumsy, but they got better.
Over
and
time,
then hit Europe, hit America and say no. Because I always wonder if Nigerians have a plan. Nigerians are all over the world. And they take over neighborhoods. And while they're there, they're learning from the cultures there.
Well, yeah.
Soon, Nigerians might end up running parts of the world and it will look like magic. And I'll be like, it's because they started early. And yes, when they got there, they had nothing. So they had to start with drugs because no one was going to hire them. No one was going to give them or support their business. So they needed to start with the dirty stuff. Drugs, cash loans, jewelry, whatever, crime. And then after that, even like white people who steal countries, you have to clean your loot. Then you start building good systems and you...
So
Why are we not looking into scaling up on the looting and not reducing it just to... At least those of us who claim to be clever blacks, this is our chance now to be inspired to
but
be more
clever blacks
intelligent.
themselves don't know. I think we don't know how money functions, Ben.
Sure.
I think that's what we're struggling with as Abudak in general. We don't know how money really functions, and that's why we can't loot in a smart way. We loot just to, the people that looted now, I'm telling you, by Sunday, all that food will be done. Eh?
Sure.
It's literally
Sure,
done.
sure.
Then the question is, what happens on Monday? So we don't know how to loot and have systems that are functional that can last long. What I will always appreciate is when white people loot or they colonize, whatever we want to call it, it's sustainable, Ntwana.
But it's because they've been doing it for centuries.
Yeah.
When are we going to start?
We don't want to. Because some black people are okay. That 8,000 that they're getting, they're cool.
They've
The
been
10,000, the
numbed.
40,000. Yeah. Ukraine, if your child is going to the best schools,
There's a story now that 400 billion, I don't know if it's rands or dollars, in illicit cash flows has left the country. That's called sophisticated looting from big white business. They've moved money offshore, which might pale in comparison to the damage now.
Yeah.
And even the damage now might pale in comparison to what we've lost during COVID lockdowns from when they started. Are we looking at sophisticated moves by the big boys? Or should we just say, look, it was just dumb, desperate blacks pissed off by Uzoma, and that's all it was, and let's not think deeper.
I think there's always someone that gains in these things.
Yeah.
Like a big player always gains in these things, And it's either political or it's economical. One of the two. It's private sector or public sector that gains. But I don't think public sector will gain from this. But I think that whatever it is, the next 6 months, we fully want to know. Fortunately, unfortunately, what we've seen with the looters, is what we're speaking about before we started filming, is that what I appreciate from it, and it's very raw, is the fact that whether they got together and said we're going to loot or not, I don't know. But there was a point in time where they all went and they're like, what, we all agree we're going to do this thing.
Sure.
That's like, what, so you shouldn't have it.
Sure.
Legal or not illegal, so shy it. And they did it.
Sure.
What we're not able to do is to come together, besides the looting, why we're not able to come together and build functional systems amongst ourselves. If we're able to come together to loot, come together to build shacks next to four ways, wherever, why are we not able to come together to build systems where we're able to be functional in a capitalistic system? That's why I don't believe in this whole thing of bend down the country and we'll build it up. No,
Sure.
we've got too many stupid black people
Sure.
to function like that. When people come together, it doesn't mean that when they have something, they can make it functional. There's been many farms in Fetu, after a lot of government stuff, man, where government has given people a farm and I have to go shoot an Indian farm, a white farm, a black farm. I'm African on the farm of the black man.
Flames.
And they got the very same resources. My thing with black people, Pen, is that we have a poor mindset. A very poor mindset. Very, very, very poor. And poor in a sense of we're not able to come up with things for us to work. That's why there's that thing. You pick Porter Ruban when he says, give them the land, man. I think there's a clip there. It's not even a clip, it's written, it's like a meme. It's like,
Sure.
no, give them, man. These things can't function, man. They can't function without us. And what we've proven throughout Africa is that black people cannot function without white people.